What's going on, people? All right, I'm doing part two. My other video is loading right now. Do a part two to this is my teenage years, the 2010s, and I just like talking into the camera. So Chris Rock was a really important figure in my life. You know, other comedians as well. Listening to Richard Pryor, Eddie Murphy, Bill Cosby. I'm really into comedians at 15. Really into comedians. Before you guys heard of the rapper Nipsey Hussle, I knew of Nipsey Russell. I knew of him first because this is like 2 years later when I heard of Nipsey Hussle, like through SoundCloud. I just thought about the comedian Nipsey Russell. So I knew of Nipsey Russell before Nipsey Hussle. But here's some, like I said, comedians that I listened to were always on the top 100 Comedy Central greatest comedians list. So it was always Richard Pryor, Chris Rock, Eddie Murphy, Bill Cosby. It wasn't just black comedians, it was white ones too. Bill Burr, listen to Bob Saget, George Carlin, listen to Andrew Dice Clay. And it was hard. Let me just tell you this. I went to a school with a lot of Italian people, and some of them used the N-word in a disrespectful way. So it was a little challenging to listen to some comedians that were like white or Italian, because like the prejudice that I received, the disrespect that I received at the last school. But like what didn't help was, what show was so fucking popular on MTV around this time? Jersey Shore. And where did I just come from? A predominantly white school. So let's just say there were certain shows that I could not bear listening to, and that was one of them. I was not interested in like MTV at the time, so when Jersey Shore came out, I didn't watch it, didn't really care for it. When they announced it at school, because they were offended, a lot of Italians at my school were offended by the show because they used the G word. I'm not going to say it on my video, but yeah, that show, I wasn't a fan of it. Wasn't a fan of 16 and Pregnant. Wasn't a fan of, these are the shows that I watched. I watched True Life. I watched the first few episodes of the show called The Hard Times of R.J. Burglar, until they canceled it. I watched like maybe 2 episodes of it. I watched because I really just watched reruns, movies. I really wasn't watching like new shows, because it's just that TV wasn't really popping like that. So it was more like I said, movies on Impact on Demand. I watch, sometimes I played my PlayStation. I didn't have a phone at the time, so check this out. The phone that I had since about 08, after my Samsung was messed up, and after the Phillies game, my dad washed my fucking shorts and my phone. It was a nice phone. It was a nice flip phone. It was destroyed. So I got a black Sony Ericsson flip phone, and I wasn't really talking to nobody. I just had minutes put on that phone. But I don't really know what happened to that phone, to be honest. But 2010, no phone, no MP3 player. Is like, not everybody had a phone like they do now. Kids in school have phones, but I'm just basically, I'm not going to tell you what I did that got me kicked out of school, but let's just say it was people that I encountered in my neighborhood who went to school with me, and it was just real weird, real awkward. I don't even want to talk about it right now, but yeah, the summertime was just, when I think about it, it was the last best summertime, because I didn't have to work, didn't have a job, didn't have no responsibilities. All I really did was I was just a kid, man, It was times when we ate out, we ate good. You know, my dad made sure it was food in the house. And yeah, that was basically 15. You know, no job. I could have worked that year, but I just stayed in the house. And I was going to like a therapist, you know, sometimes. That eventually stopped. But you know, I'll tell you this. I'm pretty transparent dude on my channel. So, I'm pretty comfortable with myself. Ain't nothing that I hide about me on this channel. But when I had my first like feel from a girl, first experience from a girl at 15, and I didn't enjoy it, I was just wondering, what does that mean about me? So 15 is kind of weird, but I had like a hatred of women, like a strong hatred with the girlfriend that lived in my house and her daughter. I had a strong hatred for women, but I was questioning if I like women because I didn't enjoy her touching me, kissing me, or anything like that. So that's something I was openly beginning to voice around my mom and my dad. I didn't have a label for myself at all, but I was just beginning to voice it. It was out of anger, but it was also out of just beginning to understand, like, who am I? Now, what's so weird is, like I said, I had no attraction to men in my neighborhood, my school, nothing like that. I had no attraction at all. But around this time, I learned about my submissive side. I told you guys this story a bunch of times. I was watching a movie. It was called Cage Fury, and it was a scene where the nurse, she is like fondling the prisoners, and it's a fake jail, by the way. But she did it in a way where it was so like dominant, like she was real dominant in her role as like the prison, the guard, and she was like and the girls were like, like I said, they were in bondage. They were in bondage. And I don't know where, I can't explain exactly why that aroused me at all. I don't really know where. See, this is the thing. I don't understand. I'm not trying to understand everybody else's, way of, pleasing themselves. That's not my quest in life, to understand it, but I would love to know, like, what gene, like, what makes people aroused by something like that. Like, for example, I don't know what people who have foot fetishes, I don't know what they find attractive about feet. I don't know what they find attractive about that. Like, I've had a foot job done before, but I don't find nothing attractive about feet whatsoever. But that's not for me to understand at all. But let me tell you this. I like I said, I just accept whatever it is that I like. I don't really try to fight it anymore for a lot of reasons that I'll tell you already. I feel like I said why, but I just noticed, like, around 15, I had a very submissive side to me. And like I said, I don't know where it comes from, but I've always liked to be the submissive one. Always. And the movie Cage Fury introduced me to that.